Day 2, let's get after it. Sun's out. See it? Going to go down here and dig a burn pit this morning. Got my leaf blower and a little bit of fuel there. See if we can't get a little fire going. Get some stuff burned up. Let's get after it. Time to dig the burn pit. Already made one cut here. Some pretty hard dirt. Couldn't ask for any better dirt to build a pond dam out of, which is pretty much what they used. Stripping, there's really no topsoil in this area, so I'm just stripping the top couple feet off and throwing it over here so that I have something a little bit better than the material that's down below it to spread back over top of everything. The stuff below it's a little more sandier and granular. Laying that on this side and trying to get a full bucket, but it's really hard. Laying that up here, I'm going to build the back side of the dam out, kind of build a platform so I can drive up on top and throw the brush down into this pit. It should have a pretty good little burn pit here when I'm done. I'm going to fill in all the way to there and then climb up on top. I'm not digging rock and I'm not digging mud, so I'm happy. It's just really hard dirt. So you just kind of got to like skim a few inches off. Ground temperature is pretty cold this morning. It's about 20 something, mid 20s. And watch when I dump the dirt out how it steams. Once you get down this low, I think the ground temperature stays about 50 degrees or something. 50, 60 degrees. I'll dig on this for about 15 or 20 more minutes and it should be big enough to burn everything that I need to burn in it. Still contemplating doing another burn pit on the other side over there, but I see how well this stuff burns up and how fast I can get everything transferred over here. My goal is to get everything over here and pretty much everything I've cleared down here, get it burning, and then start clearing some more in between. fire going. Got a grapple full of dry stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and pile that on there. Got to angle the camera down a little bit on this one. It's a little far down from the top up here. Stuff in there, and that should catch up. Just have to pull some of these bigger logs off top. I got some smaller stuff here. I just ran out of room yesterday and had to pile everything on top of one another here. Well, I might be able to take this and just go ahead and lay it in the hole there beside it. I'll do that. Glad the smoke is blowing away from me. That was my only concern. I only had one way to feed the fire, and that's right here. Let me go down here and grab some of this pine. That ought to burn a little bit better. It's got some sap in it. Smaller stuff versus all these bigger hardwood little trees. Better get a grapple full of this right here. We'll do something. Create a lot of blue smoke regardless. Once it gets nice and hot though, I think this fire is going to burn extremely well. I mean, it's barely smoking now. You're about to see some smoke though, until it gets this green stuff going. I'll let the blower sit down there and just keep some air going into it. I dug that kind of trench so that air would flow down there into the bottom. Oh yeah, it's burning good. Look at that. Grab some of this bigger stuff. It's kind of a mix. A little hardwood. Mix it up a little bit. Oh yeah, I told you that would make a little smoke. Catch up, and it'll take about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll stack some more on there. It's burning pretty good. It's kind of nice to have a good platform to work off of. Once it gets burning good, I'll probably pile it in here about 10 or 15 feet higher, so it'll be about 25 feet of brush here. Yeah, it's cooking in there good now. There we go. Now it's getting hot. So the fire's burning pretty good now. I'm gonna start, I got most of the, well, I'll spin around so you can see. I got all the brush from down there that was all piled up, all down here. All that I have left is this pile right here that I transferred down. Fire's burning really good, like I just said. And now what I'm going to do is start grabbing some of this stuff right here and putting it on the fire and work my way down the back of this pond dam, getting all this debris cleaned up and the rest of the trees off of the back slope taken down and put on the fire as well. So I got to clean up these few piles that I piled up so I could get across here yesterday before I can do anything else. See if all this is going to stay together. See how good these. Ooh, I dropped some of them. Oh well. Crunch that up in there. So the pile right now is probably about 25 feet tall because it's about 12 or 15 feet in the ground. Good comparison to the size of the tractor there. It's the same size tractor I have. Hot fire going, this stuff will burn up quick. That glare's a little bad, isn't it? Starting to warm up too. So much weight on one track it won't even turn. Get closer there. Alright, that's probably enough on there for now. Let that cook down a little bit while I take a few more trees down. Probably leave those bigger trees right there at the bottom. They're kind of a nice little sycamore tree. Just get everything off the slope of the dam. There's one down there at the bottom. It won't hurt anything way down there. Bad thing about those logs, they get all crisscrossed and they're hard to grab. that fire. Cooking. Die down just a little bit before I pile a whole lot more on there. Good progress. I'm about halfway across the pond dam now from the fire, getting all this stuff off the back slope and the stuff that I had piled up. I think once I get over there, what I'm going to do is get everything that I've cleared burnt in that pile over here, and there's rain coming tomorrow. I may go up there and start grading and get that whole side done. That way I don't have to worry about trying to go back over that after it's raining and it's all muddy. That way tomorrow I can come put the overflow in, grade the pond dam, and leave the clearing for the next time I come up here, next weekend. Oh, that's hot. That's very hot. And do another burn pit over there. That way I can take all that material and just put it straight to the fire over there and not have to bring it all the way around. That way I can get all this done right here. Because the ponds will start filling back up. It's got some water that's flowing into it, but if we start getting a lot of rain, it's really going to come on up, and I don't want to have to deal with having to put a siphon back in here. amazing how much this stuff dried out. It's actually, see the dust coming off of it? Luckily all the ground covering the woods is still pretty, got a lot of moisture in it. It did rain a fair amount yesterday. We're calling it more tonight, so not really too worried about anything getting out of control. So I'm going to try to get the rest of this in that pile and maybe some of that other pile all burn up, and then do the rest of it next time. That way it'll give that pile there time to burn on down today before I leave, and I can kind of keep everything kind of pushed up and finish getting rid of everything. Probably cover it up tomorrow.
rest of it on there. I mean, I have seriously, since like 8:30 this morning, for the last 3 hours, I have just been putting stuff on it non-stop. Yeah, the fire's burning pretty good now. Keep in mind it's still about 15 feet in the ground and 10 or 12 feet out. You'll pile some more stuff on here. Put some more stuff on the fire real quick.
try and avoid was the wind changing and blowing hot sparks all over me. Of course, as soon as I do all that, the wind changes and goes back that way, which is normal. Grab everything I can here real quick, put on there. Pretty much all I'm going to burn today is this stuff right here. That way it'll die down before I leave, and I don't have to worry about the wood's catching on fire for some random reason. By the fire, I've got half embers falling all over me. Alright, that's enough. Make sure nothing's burning. Alright, I'm gonna let that do what it's gonna do for a little while. Boy, we almost had a bad day. We had a little fire. Some embers got down in here, and evidently there was, I tried to keep it cleaned up, but evidently there was some pine straw under this washer fluid tank, and it set it on fire and melted all my wires here for all my sensors. All of a sudden 4 alarms went off, and it was probably because all these wires were shorting out. So now I guess I'm going to have to cut those out and replace those. Maybe I'll just cut them off, finish the day out, I don't know. That's the only bad thing about fires. You can set yourself on fire really quickly. Boy, that could have been a bad day. So I got all my connectors off, and looks like just 4 wires here. I'm going to try to cut them. I don't have anything to fix it today, but I cut the power off through the machine so nothing will be arcing out. I'm going to try to cut these 4 wires. I mean, it's just to the air condition sensor. Maybe it's throwing a bunch of codes, but maybe if I have it where it's not arcing out, I'll check all the fuses, make sure nothing's blown. See what happens. Well, I don't know if it shorted something out or not, but everything seems fine, but it's throwing a code here. I'm going to run it for a few minutes. It's got something to do with the emissions. Hopefully when those wires melted, it didn't short something else elsewhere, even though the emissions is on the other end. I don't know. I'm going to run it for 5 or 10 minutes and see what happens. Well, I've run the machine for like 30 minutes now, and it's still beeping away. It runs fine and dandy, and I don't know, I know if something would reset. I'm like 85 miles from home. I would really not like to pay the dealer to have to come out here, so any other time I'd probably stop, but I'm a good little ways away from home. And if it's going to go into limp mode, go ahead and get it to go into limp mode. So I'm working up here at the house lot, and definitely not going back by the fire. I don't know, I just don't understand how a wire going to the air conditioning sensor is screwed up to death. The emissions.
code. It gave me a code. Maybe I can call it Monday morning and see what it says. Probably a $500 trip just for them to come up here and look at it. Probably more than that. Oh well, figured I'd give you a little update. I know you're already tired of the beeping. I know I am. So after like, what, 30 or 45 minutes of hearing it beeping, I was like, I wonder if the burnt wires, even though they're cut off, has something to do with it. The emissions code evidently is one of the sensors over there, has something to do with it. So we ran some little jumper wires back over there to the other ones to just see if it worked, and it fixed everything but the heating and air system, so I can deal with that till I get it back home, or closer to home. And yeah, well, at least we know that I can come back to work tomorrow. I'll just bundle up because it's going to be cold in there.
Real cold in the morning.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the temp's going to be, but
Well, this will get us through the job and I can fix all that later. Well, I'm glad I thought to fix those wires back and just not leave them empty. It got the machine, well, it was going, but it was about to beat me to death, and I didn't know if it was going to go into limp mode, so we got those wires put back together temporarily, and the only thing that doesn't work is the heating and air, so I don't exactly know what happened with that, but I'll freeze in here for a little bit to get this project finished with, and get Volvo to look at it when I get closer home. Let's go stoke the fire up one more time. Stay away from it. Alright, so the object is to not set anything else on fire tonight. Look how much stuff burned up though. There's hardly anything left in this pit. Amazing how well stuff burns inside of a pit like that. Like when I stopped, it was 20 feet above the hole right here. Now it's only like 3 or 4 grapple pulls around it. Glad that fixed that. It is the stressful part of owning equipment. That could have been bad. Could have been real bad.
everything that I cleared yesterday is burnt. And while I was messing with this thing, I cleared some more up there around the house lot as well. So. All right, well that's it.